Why is Ric Flair the greatest wrestler of all time? We all know he is a 16-time world heavyweight champion. But his legacy goes much deeper than that. He had a 50-year wrestling career from 1972 to 2022. His life often imitated art. He has been married 5 times. Flair infamously broke his back in 3 places in 1975, and was told by doctors he would never wrestle again. However, just 3 months later, Flair proved them wrong, and returned to the ring. As a result of the accident, he did change his wrestling style from a power brawling style, to his more familiar grappling approach he was better known for, as the Nature Boy. Ric Flair began calling himself the Nature Boy in 1978, when he was involved in a feud with the original Nature Boy, Buddy Rogers. Flair won his first NWA Heavyweight Championship from Dusty Rhodes, who was a 3-time NWA Heavyweight Champion. During the 1980s, Flair battled the likes of Harley Race and Dusty Rhodes in steel cage matches for the NWA title at Starrcade and the Great American Bash. Dusty Rhodes once even passed out from the figure 4 leg lock. In 1985, managed by J.J. Dillon, the 4 Horsemen were formed. The faction consisted of Ric Flair, Ole and Arn Anderson, and Tully Blanchard. The 4 Horsemen was the most dominant faction in wrestling between 1985 and 1988. Between 1988 and 1991, Flair and Sting battled ferociously over the NWA and WCW World Heavyweight Championships. Subsequently, Flair left WCW over a contract dispute with Jim Herd and headed to the WWF. Flair entered number 3 at the 1992 Royal Rumble, lasting over 60 minutes, and claimed his first WWF championship. Flair lost and regained the title from Randy Savage, before ultimately losing the belt to Bret Hart. Flair eventually returned to WCW in 1993, winning the WCW title on multiple occasions. In 1996, the New World Order or NWO, which included Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, and Hulk Hogan, invaded WCW. Ric Flair, Arn Anderson, Sting, and Lex Luger battled the NWO and an imposter Sting at War Games. Luger ultimately tapped out to the imposter Sting's Scorpion Deathlock. Flair won his last 2 WCW titles in 2000, before the WWF purchased WCW in March of 2001, and closed the doors for good. Ric Flair returned to the WWF as a co-owner in the fall of 2001. In 2002, alongside Batista, Randy Orton, and Triple H, Evolution was formed. Between 2002 and 2005, Evolution dominated the WWE. In 2006, at 57 years old, Flair was Intercontinental Champion for 155 days, before losing the title to Shelton Benjamin. Later in 2006, Flair became Tag Team Champions alongside Roddy Piper before losing the belts to Rated RKO. A few weeks later, he was the sole survivor at Survivor Series. At WrestleMania 24, in 2008, Flair was defeated by Shawn Michaels in a retirement match. He was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame the day before. However, Flair did not retire. He went on to Impact Wrestling in 2010, where he wrestled until 2012. In 2012, he returned to the WWE, and was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame again, as part of the 4 Horsemen. Flair began wrestling on the independent circuit again in 2021, and had his final match versus Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal in July of last year. Thus, Ric Flair's Hall of Fame 50-year career was the most unique of any wrestler. He began wrestling in the days of territories, ultimately becoming a fixture in WCW, had extensive runs in the WWE, and was even part of a 3rd promotion in Impact Wrestling. Having his final match at 73 years old, being at least a 16-time world champion, and the dirtiest player in the game, Nature Boy Ric Flair is truly, without question, the greatest wrestler of all time.